Alright, welcome to Coach Talk Week 2. So again, we'll just go around the table, just say our name, how long we've been in coaching and what club we're from. So I'll start. So I'm Peter Dohnt, been in coaching for 10 plus years, and I'm obviously with the Football Federation Southwest.
Gareth, Wareham, I'm with Bunbury United. Been coaching since I was about 30, so long time ago. Gosh,
I'm Sam Page. I've been coaching for 1 year and I with Hay Park.
Cool. I'm Jordan King. I coach at Dynamos and help out at Football Federation Southwest as well. I've been coaching on and off since I was 15 and I'm 22 now.
Alright, so like I said, the idea of this is just an open discussion about coaching, wherever the topics lead us. We do have sort of a bit of an agenda, but we normally go off in tangents, which is great. And like I said, we want to just have an open and free discussion about coaching. So what I was we had down was talking about playing styles and formations. And also coaching styles, but wherever that leads us, we'll soon see what part of the rabbit hole we get down to. So like I'll start, obviously with formations and playing styles, it's changed over the years. You got the Football Australia, the curriculum, they say, they want to play a 4-3-3. But as being a coach educator as well, I see that as people misinterpret that we have to play 4-3-3, but the 4-3-3 formation is so fluid that one little change, it turns into a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2. It's that now trying to get that into the coaches' heads that formation isn't so rigid that this is the only way, and like I said, there's the game changes. So whatever formation you use, it changes the game. So.
Exactly right. Pete, in all the analysis shows, they always show like attacking formation and defensive formation. It's like so when the team's on the ball and then the attacking half, it looks like a 3-2-5.
Yeah.
Whereas in the defense, it might be like a 4-5-1, but on paper they've set out as a 4-3-3, like you said. So obviously, agreed, like during the game, different phases of play, like you'll always find it will just constantly keep changing anyways, and that's what the best teams do. They constantly keep changing over and over and over.
Now we bring it back to our level, our junior levels out here. Like the biggest constraint is getting the players to understand formations and how they can move. And you see it, and you think back, go watch under, say, 8s. The kid goes, well, I'm a defender. That's where I'm going to stand. I'll stand right there. The ball's up near the other goal, but I'm going to stand here because that's where a defender stands. And then it builds from there. And you even see it with new players at 12. Yeah. Defenders are standing well in their own half. So it's what restrictions have you seen with formations? You've been in the game for a while, so I'm sure you've seen them all from the Dutch W to.
I mean, it, like I say, it's very fluid. The frustrating days of watching England under Sir Alf Ramsey was just chronic. And everybody wanted to play like that for some bizarre reason. Yeah. So I couldn't understand it, but as soon as Cruyff got the total football instigated, and I thought, I love this. This is great. So all of a sudden, fullbacks could be playing down the wing, and overlapping in the opposite direction as well. And you think, this is great. This is what it means. So I've seen lots of different styles. Local football drives me nuts. Especially with the younger groups. And I think, dear God, why are they standing in a line right across the pitch? 4 defenders or 3 defenders, and you think, oh my life, surely.
Yeah.
Anyways, we try by example, really, and just giving players more freedom. Yeah. And keep going.
What are you saying? What formation have you seen out there? What formation you use? You had a first year coaching?
Yeah, so I sort of did like, I did 3-3-2 because it's 9 aside.
Side, yep.
I basically just wanted our midfield to be able to sort of roam, but then same thing you were talking about was the troubles of telling your team a formation and then just thinking, oh well, I'm a midfielder, I have to sit in the midfield and I can't go move out and collect balls or track back and help. And I had the same thing with my defenders. For some reason, they thought that they couldn't go up past halfway. So when we were attacking, it was a big gap with the attack and then the defenders not going past halfway. So for me, the troubles with teaching a formation was teaching the roles of the formation, and not just saying this is the formation we're playing, saying these are the roles within this formation, you can do this. And that's when you get into like really with the high level players, they know their role perfectly.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I've gone on a tangent before about player roles and how they're not expressed enough. So even up in the high level, like you get a kid come to you, say as a state coach, and you want them to play centre back, but their reasoning of how to play centre back is different to how you want them to play centre back. But if you don't give them a role, if you don't give them a job description,
your job as a coach is to explain how they play that role.
So and obviously then it clicks. Okay, you want me to play as a ball playing, so you want me on the ball, you know. So
I also find part of the reason why some coaches have trouble playing some players in areas is they, like you said, they have different expectations of the role, so they won't be happy with what the player's done because the player's just thinking, this is just how I've always played this role.
Exactly.
And then the coach goes, oh well, they clearly aren't meant for that role.
Put them elsewhere.
And see if it clicks. Whereas you need to have the role adapted to how the player. Well, not always, but that's my view of sometimes.
And it's especially with young players, they should be playing every position. But I see it in games that a coach will start a kid in defence, and then they'll make substitution. So then the next guy will be right wing. They make another substitution. Then they're the striker. So that kid hasn't had a chance to nail down the roles. So trying to get that education of going, it's great to move around, but keep them there for the game. Then maybe move them next week. So they build up that knowledge. And there's no right formation. That's the beauty of the game. There is no right formation. There's no wrong formation. There's no right formation, because any formation could work against a different formation or another formation.
Sure.
That's the beauty of it. And I love when I have discussions with people about formations and they get, it's this way, it's only this way, this is the only formation. It's like, well, you gotta have that, flexibility.
And you fit the formation. Sometimes you can fit the formation to the types of players that you have, instead of putting, we're definitely going to play this formation, is the only formation that we play for the whole year, and not having the types of players for those roles and just sticking them in there because that's the formation that you've always played.
Well, that's coming into that coaching style. So are you like that dictator coach where it's this way, this way, this way only? I mean, that could work, because you might have players that are flexible and go, okay, well, they pick it up. But you can't also go, oh, okay, well, he's a really good, there and that, and then this one here, and then you have no structure. So it's just that finding that middle balance now of, yes, I don't want to hammer a round circle into a square peg, but can I mold it into that? And that's about formation. That's the main thing. Like, you can't just throw it out the window and say, we'll just let them play there, because that's their strong points. But how's that look? Is that structured? Is that is that the way you want to play, or are you just facilitating and the kids are out there playing? So, and famous example I think was Ollie Solskjaer. Like, he had all these superstars. Did he have a clear plan? probably, but did it
Didn't
show
Didn't
out there?
actually materialise, did it?
Yeah, so it's just how important it is to have a philosophy, coach that philosophy, and then your players then move around that philosophy. And then yes, of course you vary off here and there, and you build your philosophy with the players that you got. But you can't just go, oh, these guys don't know this formation, I'm just going to give it up. It's that build up over time.
What I tried to do last year was also to get players aware of almost like a grid on the pitch.
Yeah.
To sort of say, well, if you're in their half of the pitch and the opposition's half, I don't want you to be in line, three of you in a line on the touchline.
Yeah.
So start thinking about where you are, how you can form a triangle and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're in that grid, there should only be one player in that grid, the whole length of that half.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And some of them got it.
Yeah.
Some of them were confused by it because it's not something you don't do every day. It's kind of it's high level stuff.
Yeah, and that is high level because we say when we have the ball, I don't want anyone else in my channel. I want one there in those half spaces because that's an angle pass.
Yeah.
Forward pass, we did it Monday night.
Yeah, we did.
Forward pass might achieve ground, but what's the benefit? What's the use of a pass? What do you want to do with a pass? An attacking pass. You want to move defenders.
Yeah.
So if you pass the ball straight, the defense don't have to move.
Yeah.
If you pass the ball angle, they shuffle. When they shuffle, holes or gaps appear.
Yeah.
Or if they're not quick enough, we can exploit. So that exactly like those grids, very important. But it's also up to the players to understand.
Yeah.
Formation changes. If that ball's there, that formation will change. And then ball's there, formation changes. Ball's with us here, formation changes. It's just that, and that comes down to training.
Yeah.
Your positional training. So when you're 13 plus, that positional training on how effective is your training. That these triggers and these red flags go off in players' heads, going, okay, this is happening from here. We know what to do, and that's when it comes into it.
Exactly right. Like it's just being able to understand like the 4 phases of play in the game, and then if the players can understand, all right, what do we want to do when we have the ball?
Yeah.
What do we want to do when we don't have the ball? What do we do in the transitions when we have the ball and just lose it, or when we don't have it and just win it? Like exactly right. And then breaking it down into the grid. Okay, if we have the ball in these areas at this part of the pitch, what is the rest of the team doing? Or
what's our options?
Exactly right. What are our options? Or when we don't have the ball and we've just lost it in our attacking third, like what are we looking to do straight away? And it really is important to nail down that philosophy, knowing what you want to do, in all those phases of play, and obviously bring it out into the training pitch. I think I remember when you first came over here from New South Wales. I remember that was the first question I asked you. I was like, I've got all these ideas in my head, but I don't know how to put it onto the pitch or onto the paper. Then you just told me straight away, well, what do you want to do when you have the ball? When you don't have the ball? What do you want to do in your transition phases and then set pieces and all on?
Yeah.
And so on. And then the minute those gave me those 4 options, it was like, oh, well, this is easy. And it made my life easier. And if it makes my life easier, imagine the players, you know?
And then that's the biggest thing is if you have a clear philosophy on what you want to do with the ball, it might not work, but the players understand.
Yeah.
And they're not left in the lurch or looking, what do we do here, sort of thing. Like, they have some parameters to work with, which doesn't mean they can't do something different.
Sure.
It's just if it's the right or wrong thing. And that's something we might go, okay, we'll put that in the back pocket because it's happened a few times. We've done this in this situation, which has strayed away from the thing. But it could be also that player's seen something else, a different way of doing it. Do we want to inhibit that player because that's not in part of our philosophy, or we haven't really worked on that? But how much do we stifle? Like that's a big one, and I love it. And talking about that, I love when coaches are working on, let's say, attacking play, just retain possession, and then this kid hits a 30-yard bomb into the top corner, but that's not what we're working on, and the coach will berate him. It's just like, well, he's just seen that, hit it perfect, and we're stopping that, like. So, and it's the same as if a kid beats 3 players and then scores a goal. Oh no, we want to be working on this. Oh, this kid just did that in that situation. Like, yeah, all right, if you beat 3 players and lost on the 4th, then we can go, okay, well, what happened there? But if it's successful, why are we stopping that? And it's a big thing where we're stopping a lot of kids' creativity sometimes in training because that wasn't the way we wanted it to happen. Whereas we need to be a bit more flexible at times at training. And I've been guilty of it before as well. And we're looking at trying to hit down the wing play and all that. Yeah, we want to influence playing down the wing, but the kid had a chance to go through the middle and then hit the goal. Why do I want to stop that? No, that's an option too. Like, we got to think, okay, well, that's part of the game.
Exactly right.
So yes, they can. That's what we're working on. But he's seen that chance and he's gone for it. So why do I want to stop that? Like, he's thinking.
And it's getting his teammates to actually respond in a positive sort of way as well, to kind of support, rather than just he's going on and on again. He's beating 4 players and he'll lose it.
Yeah.
Just to give him more options.
Yeah.
Because it does work.
Yeah.
It does work.
But like I said, if we have a clear philosophy, and like you were saying, in each moment of the game, not just in each moment of the game, like hopefully throughout the season, you've worked on each moment of the game in different areas. And that's the biggest one. Everyone works on, okay, we're working on playing out from the back. And everyone thinks we have to go short. You go short 3-4 times, what's the attack going to do? The opposition, you're going to push.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's our next option if that happens? Or if we haven't trained under that pressure and we just keep doing the same thing, like they're going to read us. So we need to develop creative players that read that and they go, well, okay, let's set up to go this way, but then go this other way, or go over the top there. Because we need to give them those options to create, to think for themselves. Okay, well, this isn't working. How can we fix that on the field? Because you might make notes as a coach going, okay, well, a couple of times we've lost it doing that now. They're still not seeing that. That's the next one on the training pitch. But hopefully they can solve it or work on solving it already on the field.
I was actually watching like a video on YouTube or something like that, and it actually talks about that. They don't have, they call it principles of certain areas of the pitch when they've alright, so let's say playing out from the back, we'll stick with that. Okay, what do we always want to try play out from the back, okay, we know that. But some teams will decide to press high, other teams will decide to sit off. So like they said, and they actually train to provide solutions for both situations. And instead of them saying, we only want to play short and that's the only way we want to play, it's like, look, we understand that, some teams will want to press high and playing short might not be the best option. We might have to go long in behind a little bit just to reduce the pressure or whatever. And when I was listening to that, it made a lot more sense. Instead of telling your players exactly what to do, or like telling them, okay, your goalkeeper goes to the centre back, the centre back goes to the right wing back, and so on. No, create a scenario and let them solve the problem, and then we build our coaching points around the problem there.
Well, that's when we talk about training, the training under pressure. And increasing, we call it, you've heard the term PDE from your courses. They go on about it, but I just call it decision making.
Yeah.
As soon as you put decision making into your session as early as possible, that's when the learning increases. I mean, we're not robots saying, okay, he has to go here, has to go here, has to go here, has to go here. Because if that's not on, this kid, that's all we're trained for. This kid goes, So they go, okay, well, I've received the ball here. We're in the right good position because that's what we're trying to teach them. Good position base, and then make a decision based on what we see. All right, well, I can't go there, but I can go there. Maybe I get the ball back, then go there, or my striker's feet's on, bang, hit it, and then so.
A lot of this stuff revolves around the communication skills of the players, doesn't it?
Give all the kids a phone on the field.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put it
Put it, headset. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we'll solve a lot of problems. Give them all a phone, text in, and that'll be boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, how'd you do that? Oh, we talked about it. Yeah, no, I agree, and we don't work on communication much in training anymore. Like I remember back in my day, my coach put a word on every pass.
Yeah.
Put a word on every pass. That was his phrase. Put a word on every pass. If we didn't, we got to have it. Why don't you tell him to turn? Why don't you tell him you had time? Why don't you tell him man on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just it became a habit. Bang! If I hit a pass, it's got A because of space. Oh, time. It's just it became natural. And then that helped him, and then So communication. They don't want to talk to each other.
No,
they want to talk.
Amazing. Oh yeah. Before the game and half time.
Let alone full time if they win.
And like I said, there's nothing better as a coach than working on your philosophy throughout the year, and then you're seeing it out there on the pitch, and they're doing it, or they're trying to do it.
It
might not be successful, but you knew what they were trying to do, and you saw that patterns of play that you've been working on. Even if that's that short little moment of that transition, we've just lost the ball and we've just been working on just getting back in our positions, and bang, it happens, and you're like, they get it, and that's rewarding in that sense of they're taking that in, and then it goes the opposite way half the time, and they do their own thing.
You mentioned about pressure, being put under pressure and stuff, and this has been a sort of a bugbear of mine for ages, that you get to the age of 13, all of a sudden they're playing on full FIFA-sized pitches, and there's no pressure whatsoever, unless they really balls it up completely. And I just think, they're not learning, actually. They're learning how to take time to be lazy and not being put under pressure. And I hate it. I really don't like that at all.
I agree. I reckon 13 is too young to be on a full field. I reckon it should be 18 to 18, 10 aside.
Yeah.
So you take out, say, one midfielder, 10 aside, 18, 18. Keep the width because they got to learn, but reduce it, 10 aside, more touches.
Yeah.
Just that step. Because you go from 9 aside and you put 12, 13-year-olds on 9 aside, and they think, okay, well, they need to go a big pitch. And you look at it and go, yeah, they do. But not the big pitch. And I think that's, Borough United do it well, where they put them in the one near the BMX track.
Yes.
Where it's the min.
Yeah.
Minimum pitch.
Yeah.
And it feels that step up.
When you told me that, I thought it was a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I genuinely was like, why are we doing it at our club, I was like, why aren't we providing a pitch for these under 13s?
Yeah.
Maybe, definitely not the 50s, but these under 13s, who some players, not even as tall as this desk here, but then you're going up against giants as well at the same time. So you got to cater for both.
Yeah.
But then obviously once you get into the 15s, everyone starts catching up a little bit.
14s, 15s, it starts, they're basically men at that age, and so they run harder, they hit harder and all that. So perfect, full pitch. I had the state boys. We had under 12s, and we were on a full pitch, big pitch.
Wow.
So I had these kids in the camp. Half of them hadn't played on a big pitch before. So one, I had to teach them how to play on a big pitch, which half the balls were falling short because they're not used to that distance to hit that ball. And then half of them, or majority of them, were midfielders.
Yeah.
Because that's they could be anywhere on a 9-a-side pitch. They're here, they're there. So they stand out. So that's why they got selected. And you got them for 3 minutes on a training game, trying to do that, and they're blowing and sitting next to me because they're on a big pitch now and they can't be there. they had to learn that structure of pass that player on and just keep our position. Okay, boom, here. Yeah, so it's that step from 9-a-side to 11-a-side needs to be something in between, just for a year.
Yeah.
Because there's, I see it a lot, go into the 13s, especially at the start of the year. Come towards the end of the year, they're getting it.
Yeah.
But the start into the mid of the year, it's horrible. It is horrible to watch, and you only see those ones that have already had that more experience.
Yeah.
That they can pick it up earlier, but I'll be leaving a lot of kids behind because they make this step up. Some of them only play for 2-3 years.
Yeah, that's too high.
If anything, and then they go to a big pitch and they get 3-4 touches in a half.
Yeah.
Especially girls.
Yeah.
Under 13 girls on a big pitch.
Get me on that one.
Yeah. But we did it over New South Wales. Our 13 girls and our 12 boys were on a reduced full pitch.
Right.
Full pitch, but reduced 18 to 18.
Makes sense.
It does, and yeah.
Practically, how did you do that?
Just bownettes.
Yeah.
That's it.
And cones or just like?
Yeah, dots. Oh no, we kept the same width.
Yeah.
Just dots for the box. That's it. So
Okay.
it just worked. So it was the 3/4 goals as well.
Yeah.
So the 3/4 bownettes.
Yeah.
So it's that step up from the small goals.
Yeah.
It's those in between. Again, in between pitch, in between goals.
Yeah.
It just made sense.
Oh, good.
That is pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on. And yeah, we touched on it, like the playing styles and all that, and formations. And you think to the leagues around the world and how much formations have changed. And the reason why formations have changed is it's because we all look to what's winning.
Sure. Yeah.
And a lot of teams these days don't have their identity anymore because they're always trying to change and, I love teams when they had an identity, like, Barcelona, tiki-taka.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get, it's entertaining. Then, you got, try to then get Stoke City.
Steady.
That direct,
Yeah.
that's all I want to, but they trained for that. That's their philosophy. That was their thing. Try to get them to play technical little short passes, like, it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
But I love that because I remember the Celtic Barcelona game.
Oh, yeah.
The two opposite styles of play clashed. Celtic didn't go away from what they wanted, and they got a win, and they only had 18% possession.
Yeah.
It was, they could have said, okay, well, Barcelona's the top team in the world. They do this really well. How about we do this? Because a lot of teams were trying to do that against Barcelona.
Yeah.
They were thinking, okay, well, that's a great way of playing. Let's try to do that. Well, it's just they lost, they didn't know how to emulate it perfectly.
That's why I don't agree with the phrase, "Oh, we were the better team. We should have won the game." I don't agree with that because if you really were the better team, you would have won the game. But unfortunately, you weren't.
Yeah.
So
I think what they really mean is we have most of the possession.
Yeah.
exactly right. So really, the phrase should be, "We dominated the ball."
Yeah.
Finish that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
Yeah, and like I said, we've youth development. We touched on it last week. Youth development, that whole winning mentality to development mentality, where you have to find that balance where we want to be more about developing players, not just winning. And you get a lot of coaches that just send a team out there to win, but they'll forget about their players. So they'll get a trophy at the end, but have they developed their players? They might have developed a really quick striker to run onto balls and finish.
Yeah.
But he's only going to get away with that for a couple more years, maybe in his junior level. But what happened to all the midfield? Yeah, they get good at hitting one ball. Like they don't get good at that, taking that touch. They don't get good at setting up other way. So we leave them behind. Whereas I'd rather we have that philosophy. We train that philosophy. Train that playing style. We might not win the game, but you can see the fruits of it developing.
Yeah.
And over time, it develops. 9 times out of 10, they play well, they're going to win a game.
Exactly right.
I mean, you lose the odd one here and there, ugly.
Yeah.
But are they still learning from something from you and developing? Fine, that's a tick. You take your loss and go, okay, well, you don't want to ever send your team out to lose. Never happens. You know, you're not going to go, we're going to lose this game, but I want you to do this, this, this. No, you say, okay, well, let's work on this, 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 and we'll go out there. Kids naturally want to win.
Yeah.
We don't need to drive that.
No,
Uh,
that's right. Can't take that out of them.
But we can't also go the opposite way and go, oh no, it's okay, don't worry about losing. You know what I mean? Like, you still need to breed a winning mentality, but it's how we do it without losing that development phase, especially.
It's really like definitely like when I first started, I was so guilty of that whole like win only kind of mentality. 15 coaching underage, setting them up to win, like. But it wasn't until I came back and started getting a bit more involved with yourself that it like really kind of like made me realize like, man, I feel like personally the quality of the players that are coming through nowadays, maybe this might be a biased thing, but I don't feel like they were as good as what they were maybe when I was growing up, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like seeing that, and it's like, and then we talk about development, and it's like, yeah, like I have a job here to develop players. My job isn't to win. Sure, I love to win I love winning football games. I love winning in general. It's great.
I hate losing.
I hate losing. I hate it.
Yeah.
But but there's obviously, obviously there's that winning mentality, but at the end of the day, they're not ready to play. Well, they're not at that level where that is the main focus yet.
Yeah.
They are still in like that development phase, especially like in the under 17s, sure, you can get away with like a win first mentality. You'll get away with that.
They're getting into that performance phase.
Exactly
they're
right.
Getting into that, getting ready for seniors.
Yeah, but before that, you got to really, really, really make sure that they are developed to that point where they can actually hit a 5-yard pass. Like I had an under 17s team this year, and some players just wouldn't know what to do with the ball. Like they get the first touch, that's fine. Yeah. And then the only thing they know is a long ball. Yeah. And it's like, no. The 5-yard pass. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
But there's big gaps between the quality of players, isn't there? Even in the same team.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And you think, dude, what's that about? You know, what? Trying to kind of analyse that over the last couple of seasons, and I found that the guys who are keen, they'll practice. They'll do stuff.
They'll watch it.
They'll watch the game.
Their first touch is miles ahead of those who just turn up for a social game, basically. And you say to them, do you want to improve? They say, yeah. But they mean, no, not really.
I wanted to improve if I could just go improved. Yeah. Just that quick. And again, and we get guilty of it, especially in games and close games. I won't put that player on just yet, sort of thing. But if anything, we're probably stunting that player's development.
Playing under pressure.
We talk about equal playing time. Like, I'm all for equal playing time, but also players got to deserve it. Players do have to deserve it.
Yeah. They come to training.
Come to training.
Effort and
good attitude, but also. The flip side is taking your good player off if they have a bad attitude. A lot of coaches won't do that because that guy's scoring the goals. That guy's winning the game for us. We won't take that player off. But he's stunting everyone else's development because he's got that bad attitude or not following what we want them to do and all that, and putting other players down and all that. So as coaches, we got to see that and go, look, let's pull that kid in line because as much as everyone says it, we're life coaches too.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what I was just about to bring up. It's like we're not actually just developing players; we're developing people. Especially like in that. I know my first year that I took the 15s, I was basically like a father to one of the kids because they were going their parents were going through a divorce. So it was like every week I was having to make sure so how are we today? Like anything that how's home? Like make sure everything was good. Before, so I knew what to expect from him at training. And it was a massive insight actually, having to go through that because I've never really had to deal with any like that before, and it actually really opened up my eyes to what coaching actually is. It's not just about winning. It's about developing people, players, and just all aspects of life.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Like I said, we can step on that training field. We put a parent hat on, we put a babysitter hat on, we put a coach hat on, we put, that father figure hat on, or mother figure hat. Yeah, it's just...
It comes down to a relationship.
Oh,
If
totally.
you care about the players, then respond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you have a bad day and you just don't want to do this today.
Think about the kids as well. They have that bad days too. Like, they've broken up with their first crush and...
With what you were saying is you've got to have almost compassion for your players in, like, how you're saying, looking after them. You have that relationship and realise that it's what you're saying as well before, is it's not all about winning. And if you lead with that result orientated sort of mindset of, we have to get results, we have to win, people aren't going to want to play for you. No one's going to you're not going to have good relationships, and that's why part of it is also building those relationships, I feel, and not sacrificing, but not just focusing on just results.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, like I said, like once you look at Mourinho, Mourinho, Jose, like the way he has a relationship with players, you read his good books or his bad books. Like if you read his bad books, see ya. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the way he has a relationship with, some players would never play for him. Just go, no, never go and play for him. He's stunting. But then some players will go, bend over backwards for him. Like, I'll run for a brick wall for him. It's so strange in that sense, because he's got it just so far out of whack that he's got so many loyal and then so many that just went, no.
I reckon like the best at it, and obviously from what I know, the best at it was Ferguson.
He was
the best at it. He knew how to get everyone on board. It was very rare for his own players to lash out or kick out. But he always knew at some point something would happen anyways. But he would have got rid of him before it came out in the news anyways.
Yeah.
So and he just knew when the player's time was up. And it was
Beckham,
exactly. He knew Beckham got too big and for him to handle. So he's like, see you later. Same as Roy Keane as well. They had a bust up too. Moved on.
And the strikers, Berbatov and Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
They both got edged out, and they were at the top of their game. And you think, wow, that's a brave move.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that the some of the ex-Manu Ferguson players commenting about Ollie's performances and talking about player performances, saying if he did that when we were playing, he wouldn't be playing for 4 months. He'd be out. Sideline.
Yeah, it's interesting, and like I said, each coach is different, and there's no one model way of coaching. Each coach gets their results different ways. You talk Premier League, obviously they're focused on winning, so their development phase is over. Don't win, they don't have a job. So they have that focus, but they still got relationships. Everything's about relationships. Like I said, if you can, from youth level, if you can get your players to buy into what you want to do, that's half the battle. It makes it so much easier to coach. But if we don't have a clear path that we want to walk down together, you're gonna have kids that go off here and they won't follow you.
It always comes back to that message: have a clear philosophy or a clear way in mind, and it has, and you'll be able to build everything around that. But without that focus, it's near on impossible.
And then as coaches as well, sometimes we don't know what we want. So because we don't have an idea, not an idea, but it sounds bad. If we don't have that clear understanding, how are we going to get our players to understand? And then we just go off them and goes, what are you doing? Are you setting them up for that though? It's just that to and fro. Obviously, like I said, there's going to be days that it's not going to work. Do we then just give it up? Like, and a lot of players will, like a lot of coaches will. Just, oh, that didn't work, and write that off. Won't go back to that again. And I said a lot. And I talk about it, playing out from the back, because it's so misunderstood. When
it's alright if you got options.
Yeah.
When they play out
they
play out from the back once. They'll turn the ball over. The opposition might score, or no, that's never happening again. Like, I'm never doing that again.
Oh.
It's a stat. If we hit a long ball from like a 50-50 ball, play out from back, just the goalkeeper just boots it.
Yeah.
More scoring chances are created from that than the short pass out or the controlled pass out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see it all the time, especially it's trying to get the players confident. Oh well, we've made that mistake.
Yeah.
Try it again. I've made that mistake again.
Yeah.
Let's see another way of doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but then you look back and go, well, was it on that player? Were other players at fault for not being in position, or was there no was the pass a bad pass? And so there's other factors, not just that mistake. But
I've got the figures wrong, but I think there was somebody mentioned that I think it was on one of the preview programs that in the Premier League, more than 70% of goals came from mistakes in the defenders' thirds area. And you think, well, okay, so why? Why is that? And they didn't kind of elaborate on that.
I think it was another stat is there's something like 70% of goals or something are scored 3 touches or 3 passes after you win the ball as well in your opposition half.
Yeah.
You win the ball in your opposition half. Not 70% of goals are scored with 3 or less passes.
So everyone plays a high press.
Yeah, of course. And that's the thing. That's what's changed the game.
Yeah.
Before, how many times did you see back in the day? You see goalkeeper set up for a goal kick. Everyone will stand at halfway.
Yeah.
There was no one in that half, because that's where the ball is always going.
Yeah.
And then it took that revelation of, okay, let's drop our back line and let's play short. Then what did that do? That brought people forward. And when there's people coming forward, there's gaps to exploit.
Sure.
But now, everyone's forward.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't mind. If that's a controlled pass out to my winger or into my striker, that's still playing out from the back.
Yeah.
That's a controlled pass. What's the end game? To get out of our half, to progress the ball up the field in a controlled manner. If you can hit it, hit it. I'll never say to my keeper who hit a ball to my striker's feet, I don't want you to do that, I want you to play my centre back. That's, like, again, stopping that kid scoring that 30-yard bomb. Like, that's not what we want. If my keeper can constantly hit that ball, perfect.
Yeah, go for it.
If it's not on, let's find another ball to hit. If that's from your midfielder, if that's from your centre back, if that's from your right back.
That's it.
Yeah.
Play it. Like, that's playing out from the back.
And it comes back to the principles again, doesn't it? It's like, well, we have a problem. Okay, yeah, like you said, if I can keep hitting the striker's feet from the goal kick every single time and the other team still hasn't solved that problem, I'm going to keep doing it.
That's it. Why would we stifle that kid that can do that? But it's just when my goalkeeper puts the ball on the ground, looks around and goes, oh, gosh, hit the ball.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, this effectively turned possession over. Right, might as well just...
Yeah, here you go.
Here you go. So... Yeah, and again, it's a lot about, why are we stopping the kid doing that if he can? How about we want to play from the back? Back, played out. So
The thing of when you see Prem, and sometimes the goalkeeper will find that long ball to the striker and they get an assist, and you go, well, because they're expecting them to play out from the back.
He's seen that.
He's been creative and changed up, and it's got a result because the team's just gone, oh shit, we didn't expect the keeper to just...
Yeah. And then that comes down to putting the players in a situation at training.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're playing a high press. All right, well, what's my outs? What's my options? Okay, I might play short, get the ball back, boom, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Or, if I can hit it first time there, everyone moves across here, bang. Right? So that's getting them to make decisions, but then getting them confident to do that in the game.
Being creative. Not only having one way of playing,
Yeah,
obviously
of course.
you have your style of playing, but
Yep.
not, like you were saying, not just one pass, not just one.
Well, even Barcelona, when they tiki-taka, or Spain, tiki-taka, they still hit a long ball.
Yeah.
They'll still hit long balls. It's just like everyone's saying, oh, they just play short. No, I'm pretty sure they're still hitting a couple of direct balls. Like, you know, that's they're not just doing that. Like
The direction, the direct ball, it's like people sometimes forget about it. It's really interesting. Like I remember, just the basics, right? Is can we move the ball? Okay, so to put the team onto one side of the field, and then quick switch.
Yeah.
And then we can get like a 1v1, 2v1, or 2v2s on the other side of the field. But obviously, you need to play short to play the team to get the opposition to one side of the field. You will have to play short, okay? And that's how you move them around. And then eventually, once it's on, bang, long ball over the other side in behind goal.
And like I said, that comes down to philosophy. It's like, you know, do we want to look to switch play? You know, do we want to switch the point of attack? You know, instead of being direct there, do we want to bring everyone to this side and then go through the feet out that side, you know, in a controlled manner? You know, and that comes down to what you're trained for, what your philosophy is, and how you set your players up.
Sure.
Like, so, and that's the thing. That's what changes it. And that's the beauty of the game, because there is, you know, multiple ways to skin a cat. Like there's not just one way to get that ball in the net. There's not one way just to stop the ball getting in the goal.
Yeah.
You know, everyone thinks, oh, press the ball, press the ball, press the ball, press the ball. Well, how do we do that effectively?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you try to press the ball for 90 minutes, you know, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, we go, okay, well, let's sit back in a low block for the first 10 minutes. Let them have the ball, right? And then after 10 minutes, now let's play a high press for 10, and then let's go back. All right, let's, you know, it's that how you set your team up. Like some teams will just go, okay, let's just play a low block, bang.
Yeah.
Everyone behind the ball, let's not let them into our box. Because if they can't get in our box, if they can't shoot, they can't score. No wrong way of playing that.
No.
Or, all right, let's push in their half. All right, push your player, doesn't go in, we go back. All right, that ball goes there, we press, we slide. All right, we don't let them out of our half. Is that wrong? No. There's no right or wrong way. And like I said, it's how you set your team up. I mean, if you're just one out pressing and there's no clear structure and your players don't know what's happening, they're running around going, okay, then there's an issue. And you still see it in the top leagues. You look at the game and you go, okay, well, I can't see a clear plan.
No.
You've got, when you have one player pushing up to press and the rest of the team isn't pressing, and then they get a big cheer because that one player is showing the determination to press and go, and you go, why is the whole team not doing it?
But that being said, that might be that one player who's our
Yeah,
fault.
exactly.
Because the team been told,
Yeah.
we want to just keep this mid-block.
But then the
Why are you
fans
going
go,
out pressing? Like, you've just now lost the line, and they play through us now, because you're going out that one out press. Like, that wasn't the time. Like, you know, or is the team at fault because, you know, we want to do that press the ball carry when they get into these areas. Like, this is, you don't know what's been set up, and that's like I said, that's the beauty of the game. Is there's no one way, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. If you get them playing a philosophy, get them playing a certain playing style, there's no right and wrong. You talk about total football. I mean, that still gets beat. You know, you still got Barcelona, they still get beat. You know, Man Cities, Chelsea's and all, they still get beat by different styles, executed well.
With a little bit of luck.
Outplayed.
The thing is that there's so many factors as well.
So many factors.
You can't just say that this was the one reason why one team won. There's so many different.
But there's nothing better than executing a game plan, and it works, and you see it out there, and they execute it perfectly, and you walk away going, great. In youth development, you go, well done, we executed that. Might not have won the game, but you executed it well. in seniors, you go execute that perfectly. We won the game from that. Like the other team were better, or the other team were this, that, whatever. But we execute our game plan, and we see the benefits.
I still remember my greatest achievement. Like, I mean, I've like won something as a coach now, but like my greatest achievement was being able to teach a FIFA team to play out from the back in the under 15s. It was like, still to this day, I still put that down as my greatest achievement ever, because a lot of these players, like, I just knew, like, they've never had anyone try to even explain what playing out from the back is, and then to eventually get them to a point where we went from goal kick to earn a corner and scored from the corner. That there was it still is, like I said, it is the greatest achievement of my life to this day, because the players had never learnt that before. So then to get to that point in the season where they could do it, they strung like 10 passes to earn a corner, right, and then to score from that resulting corner, it was fantastic. I still think about it to this day. It's beautiful,
And like I said, there's nothing better than seeing that and seeing it work, and especially seeing it out there and just seeing them try it. Seeing him try it, and then seeing it work, and then seeing him try different thing, and so definitely that's good. That's part of the youth development. That's the biggest part. Getting them shaped, changed, ready for the next level, ready move on, or keeping them in the game. Some kids don't want to play state. Some teams don't. They just want to play social. But they're learning, and they're growing as players and growing as people. That's job done. Like that's if they stay in the game, if they continue loving the game, job done. So.
And it's interesting as well, the attitude of some players when they sort of come up to you and say, how can I improve? How can I get better? And you just think, that's music to my ears, and you just want to, okay, do this to begin with, then move them on a bit, and then you see them getting the Phoenix stick, and you think, job done, that's good.
And you see him stay back 20 minutes, or come 20 minutes earlier, just working on a few things. Lovely. Yeah. Definitely. I'll wrap this up formally now. So anything you want to, just have a think about what you want to, if you come next month or next year, what you want to talk about. Like, we'll try to set an agenda for next week, next month. So in January, mid-Jan.
I think going back to what you said about, this winning attitude, a lot of it comes from club presidents and stuff like that, because they wander around the pitch, as a presence, or wander around the ground as a presence, and all they ever say is, "Did you get a win?"
Yeah.
And it just gives the wrong message straight away.
Always my first one to a coach is, "How'd you go today?"
Yeah.
Some people then tell me the score. I go, "Oh, but how'd you play?"
Yeah.
And that's what I'll shake that one too. How'd you go today? I always send that message to you. How'd you go today?
How'd you get on today?
Yeah. How'd you go today?
And then before I know it, I've given you like a 3-page essay.
I sent that through a few coaches, and I regretted it.
That's already
Chapter 1. But I agree. And that comes from club culture.
It does.
So we'll talk about club culture next. We'll put that on the list to talk about. What about you, Sam?
Mine's just a lot of generic stuff, because that's the stuff that I like to talk, like similar to this stuff, is the different things that each coach can have and do. And one thing I'm maybe interested in is maybe tactics, which is sort of playing styles, sort of similar, but even how you can do tactical changes in a game, tactical switches. I don't know, just the different tactics that coaches apply, which I know tactics is a very broad thing, but how you can apply those to change a game maybe, or
that's good.
That's probably a higher level, I guess, but just anything.
No,
really.
we can talk about that definitely.
Um,
I think we said it last time. and I think Paul said it, so we didn't talk about it today because he wasn't here. Is from the training ground. How to actually build a session.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Yes, we did mention
Yeah.
that last time. Yes, we did
Yeah,
mention
how to
that.
actually what to work on in the training ground. How do we actually build a session? What's the background around that, and we talk about it at the training ground on why we do it this way. Always when you shadow me, I just want to explain it. This is why I've done it this way. I've built it up this way. So we'll talk about that next month.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Next year. Anything else?
I don't know. We could talk about why someone would want to move on from another club. I don't know.
Probably tie in with club culture.
Probably, yeah.
Cool.
It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming in, and we'll
thank
end
you.
the recordings. Cool. Thank you for that.
It's no problem at all.
Coach. What's the date today?
Today's the 1st.
December. Jesus, December.
Is it too early to call myself 23 yet, or? So I was like, do I say 22 or 23?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
This
My birthday is in 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks tomorrow.
Probably pretty much the same age.
We graduated from
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, well, January the 2nd's mine, so
Oh, actually?
similar as well. Almost
Yeah.
23. It's crazy.
Capricorn, eh?
Yeah,
That's funny, as.
it's quick.
How would you sum up? I was like, trying to see if I could fit this question in. But how would you sum up your philosophy in one sentence?
Oh,
that would be too.
one sentence. I would say I want to play attractive, attacking football in the opposition's half.
Fair enough.
It's actually pretty bad. You just bang that out of the park.
How about you, Sam? Have you got it that far yet, or?
Oh. Because
That-
attractive is a key word that you sort of, when Pete said that, is like pops out at you when you're like
Attractive.
You just
Yeah.
want to like pop it round, but then that's also like you can't just go. Oh, our philosophy is let's just play really attractive and pop it round because
Yeah.
players are not going to know what that means. But I guess attacking football and letting players be creative. I guess.
I would say I love scoring goals, but if I don't concede, I'm guaranteed at least a point.
Yeah.
I heard you saying that.
Yeah, I think like the more and more I say that, I think it's like the more and more I'm like, I think that's
So
that's me.
from those sentences, me, breaking down mine is I like a high press because I like to play in the opposition's half. So I want to win the ball in the opposition's half. I want to get goals forward, so I want to flood forward with players, and attractive means I want that ball moving. So break down yours, you want to play bit more defensive, bit more structured in that, mid
I like
block.
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's I just I like to frustrate teams. I like just being like I like to be what's the word? Just frustrating. It's just frustrating, really hard to play against. Just a team that no one would want to play against, That's just a team that no one wants to play against, regardless of what kind of players I have. Just don't want to play against them. No, that's it. Don't want to play against them. They're hard to beat. That's how I like to think. Just want to be hard to beat, regardless. And it's like, because I always believe goals will come.
Yeah.
I believe goals will come. Doesn't matter how we set up. I believe all my players are good enough to score, but can every player defend?
Yeah.
That's
the principle that gets left a lot is defensive shape. We love to work on attacking, and what we do with the ball.
Yeah.
We seem to shy away from half the time. Sometimes more than half the time. We don't have the ball. What do we do?
I feel like some coaches don't really, like you said, they don't focus on defensive shape, and they do all this shooting practice, point practice, and then
In a line,
and then
lay it off.
and then with your in an actual game and you've been chucked in at left back or chucked in and your defensive line is just completely wrong because you're all just going like, no one's told us what to do, but all these players are bombing at us. And they don't, I haven't really had many coaches that specifically lay out defensive line and having a very concise idea of like
what you do.
What you do in certain moments, and that comes down to the certain coach who really knows what they're talking about.
My philosophy definitely comes from me being a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Like playing as a goalkeeper for 5 years.
Frustrated of what you're doing, what's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
It's always back in your mind, in your head, going, oh my
exactly
God,
right.
I
And
get
then
that right.
even playing centre back now, it's like still kind of like, well, it's basically a goalkeeper, but I use my feet instead of my hands.
Well, that's come from you being a defensive player. That's come from me being an attacking player.
Yeah.
So I love all things attacking.